Hello and good morning, Southland Division. This is your Division Manager, Jay Brad Britton, coming at you the day before Thanksgiving. I'm not sure when you're watching this quick Division Manager message, but I do want to recognize some positive things that happen and then talk a little bit about one of my core philosophies, life philosophies. I have four: connection, execution, simplicity, and the last is gratitude. And I could talk for many minutes on any one of those topics, but I'd like to talk a little bit about gratitude since it is Thanksgiving week. And this is the time when a lot of people kind of naturally gravitate toward this feeling. So let me quickly cover some recognition of what exciting things happened last week to start off with. And we will jump right to here. All right, so this is the newsletter. For those of you that do not know, the letter of the news, as I've heard many people talk about. And on the first page of the newsletter, there is some really good information about holiday selling, okay? Some really great tips. I highlighted this one right here. Just something it's just as simple as at the beginning of your demo when you're talking all this time of year from now until really, well, actually year round, you could do this. Just keep your eye open for nice gifts for your friends and family during the holidays, okay? That's just it's just a planting of a seed that could open up a little area of their brain that might not otherwise be open when you're talking through it. So that's pretty excellent. Here are the top people. This is the page one of the sales part of the newsletter. Connor, Francine, J. Brad Britton. Oh, look at that. That's me. 18,000. Just so you know, that's my biggest week of my career. It shows the power of a contest. There's a contest I'm trying to win, which I haven't actually done. I don't do personal sales very much. If I do have orders, I'll give them as on-time awards or pass them on to my daughter, who's a sales rep, or Madison, as most of you know. But this was an important week that needed to be done for me in order to reach a particular goal. And as long as all the orders tab properly, then you will be good to go there. Just shows the power of that, because that's our biggest sales week ever. Contests matter, right? If you can adapt a whatever it takes mentality toward contest, you'd be surprised at some of the things that you can accomplish. My biggest sales week prior to this, by the way, of course, this is in 1988 or 89, was like $4,400 or something. Actually, that was a push period, 4,800, I think. So maybe my biggest week is like 3,000 in sales. So that's a pretty big jump. Michael Lemaster, also over 10K. Very nice to see. Offices, look at this. Again, can you believe it? First full year. We got Downey, West LA, and Santa Monica. These guys have dominated this quite a bit. Of course, Southland here being number one division. Way to go, guys and girls. Nate, Leah, Dax, Camaro. He's kind of on loan from Hawaii, but we'll take him. Newport Beach. And then Anthony from Newport Beach. So front column, 4 people in the front column. Excellent work. Middle column, Chazelle getting it done. Theodore, I think he goes by Ted, if I'm not mistaken, in South Orange County. Nice work. First weekend, I believe. And then Han, I do not know Han, probably another fairly new person here. Han Schardinger. Cool name, Han Schardinger. Middle column, good work. And then final column on the newsletter, great to see Luca, AJ Jimenez. Oh, look, AJ popping out some business. Kenneth Escobar, the amazing Dom from Newport Beach, Ruben Valdez, Brian from South Orange County, Chelsea, Mark Escobar, a relation maybe? Kenneth Mark? Don't know, little brother? I don't know. Either way, whether relation or not, nice work, Mark, getting on the newsletter. Madison Britton with on the newsletter 840, and then Stuart NATO squeaking in there. They're very nice to see. This is big time strings, okay? I'm not even going to cover this because some of this is intimidating for some of you guys. But just look. $5,000 weeks, 19 in a row, Brandon Brown. There's some big things going on this page for sure. Here's $1,000. My favorite part of the newsletter is this right here, getting on a string. One of the most powerful contests to do is to get yourself on a string. It's once you're on a string of 5, 6, 8, 10 weeks in a row, it's tough to let yourself break it. So Kuval Patel with 2 weeks in a row. Chazelle 3 over 1,000. Ruben Valdez 4. Then we got Francine, 26. Very nice, Francine. Connor at 32. Nate, 232. Interestingly enough, in a lot of divisions and a lot of regions, this would be the number one person in an entire region. But we happen to be graced with Michael Southard, who's a baller up in Washington, and then Leah and Michael, who are the all-time 2 leaders of all time in the history, 70-year history of our company. Will Michael, it's a long way off, but will he reach 1,000? That's the big question of the day. Really great to see Michael and Leah. Good work. Some promotions. Chris, Dem, and Jessica getting their very first promotion. Very nice. Santa Monica and Cerritos getting the job done. Gina busting out her ASR. Way to go, Gina, from West LA. And then Edson, rocking his senior field sales leader, Edson Garcia. Good work, Edson. Grand days are down here. I didn't mark them, but look, 1, 2, 3. I had 3 grand days, and Anthony had 1, right? You can mark your grand days. Look, it's only 5, 6, and 7 for me, and I had another one that I didn't put on here. So cool, grand days. They keep track of how many grand days you've had. James Hill has had 496 grand days. J. Brad Britton has had 7 grand days. 8 now. And Anthony has had what? Anthony, you had more than 1. You just didn't put them on there. Come on, Anthony. Nice work getting grand day on there. Lastly, that's all really for the newsletter. I will just stop the sharing. Let me talk to you guys about some gratitude questions or gratitude nuggets here real quick. First of all, let me explain to you that gratitude is one of my 4 core philosophies. And what's great about gratitude? Well, there's a lot of things great about gratitude. Here, let me give you three things about it. One is I believe that gratitude must be pursued. Gratitude doesn't just happen naturally. I don't think if you just go through life. I think our tendency, maybe it's cultural, I don't know, but our tendency is to just, once we get something, we might be grateful at the beginning, but then we start to get to the point where we take it for granted, and then gratitude just goes away. So if we don't pursue it, like literally think about it and have it be a part of our intentions, I believe that gratitude goes away naturally. So I believe gratitude should be pursued. That's one thing. Second thing I will share is the paradox of gratitude, as I like to call it. And that is simply this. The people that are the most grateful, they're oftentimes the people that either have the least, right? They have very little, but they're very grateful for what they do have, or people who've lost the most. Sometimes if people, maybe they've lost a lot, they lose, whether it's loved ones or things, or they go bankrupt, or, whatever their challenges are, they are more grateful for the things that they do have. So it's really interesting that the people that have the least oftentimes are the most grateful. And the converse is often true. And that is that the people that have the most are often the least grateful, right? We in the United States, we have the most. We have a lot in the United States compared to the rest of the world. Yet we probably complain more about the things that we don't have, or about how things that don't go our way, than people in other countries that don't have nearly as much. So it's just an interesting paradox. It's not 100% of the people 100% of the time, but it is a kind of a general truth, that paradox. Another thing I'll say about gratitude is that the opposite of gratitude, something that I've thought a lot about, is what is the opposite of gratitude? Because I don't ever want to be seen as ingrateful, but ungrateful or ingrateful, those things are not really the opposite of gratitude. The opposite of gratitude, in my estimation, is entitlement. Okay, I do not believe that entitlement and gratitude can coexist in the same point in the universe. Where gratitude exists, entitlement cannot, and where entitlement exists, gratitude cannot. Now, what do I mean by entitlement, right? We kind of know, the rich spoiled kid, they're entitled. They feel like they're entitled, right? Well, I believe we can take that entitlement down to the very base level. I believe that we feel very entitled to a lot of things, and we don't really realize or call it entitlement. One thing that I listen closely for, and I listen closely for myself, is the word fair, right? That's not fair, right? If I hear somebody saying that's not fair, if I'm saying myself that's not fair, well, I know that at some level that means I'm feeling entitled to something that I'm not getting, right? That's not fair, okay? Nobody, by the way, there's no contract that was signed when we're born that the universe or the world says that, hey, your life's going to be fair, okay? So I just try to eliminate that from being something that I expect is fairness, right? I want to pursue good things, and but I don't want to feel entitled. And the reason I say that entitlement is such an issue is because we don't feel genuinely grateful for the little things. Okay, rather we feel entitled to a lot of little things. Simple example: if I go to a restaurant, okay, and I order a drink, let's say I order a Coke Zero, which is what I like to drink, Coke Zero. I've decided I like that drink. And they bring me my glass, and let's say my glass is this big, but they only fill it this much, right? And they put it down there. Okay, what is my reaction going to be? Okay, I'm not saying this is good or bad necessarily, but what am I going to say? I'm like, hey, you only filled my drink halfway, right? I paid for a full drink. I'm entitled to a full drink. Okay, well, true. I should get a full drink if I paid for a full drink. I get that. I'm not denying that's the case. But I don't believe I have the right to feel entitled to that when it comes to just the gratitude entitlement equation if I'm not genuinely grateful every time they bring me my drink and it is full, right? If I want to feel entitled to it being full, then I should feel grateful every time that it is full, right? I hope that makes sense. If my phone, I pay good money for my phone. If it drops a call, it's frustrating sometimes. Like, frustration. I pay good money for this. My phone should work, right? Well, yeah, it should work. But is it? Am I genuinely grateful every time it does work? Like every phone call I do that doesn't drop, do I have genuine gratitude for that? That's what I'm talking about when it comes to being grateful and pursuing it on a daily basis, and just really understanding that there's so many things that we have that we just completely and utterly take for granted. The littlest things that some people don't have, that we feel entitled to. So I don't know how to do it other than just to try to keep gratitude at the forefront of the mind. And it is, I genuinely try to think about gratitude to start my day and toward ending my day, and then all throughout the day, right? if you are a follower of the Bible or our country is based on Christian beliefs, and if you have any hold any of those beliefs, I mean, it's stated right there that we are supposed to do that, right? We are supposed to be grateful in all things, good and bad. And then I'll say this too. I'll wrap it up with this because you guys got meetings to get to. There's a lot of science nowadays that has started to show that gratitude is not just helps you feel fulfilled, but there's actually neurological and chemical changes that happen in our brain when we do things like write a letter of gratitude, right? They've had all these studies that have had practices where people are asked to express gratitude in certain ways for a 2 or 3 or 4 week period of time, and they found that by going through those studies, following up on those people literally 12 weeks or more later, that they still are experiencing benefits in their overall attitude, just in many other ways, from an exercise done literally 12 weeks earlier, right? Which is bizarre to me. And then they put electrodes or scanners on people, fMRIs, and they'll find that when people are expressing gratitude or experiencing or even taught to think about gratitude, certain parts of their brain are stimulated that are associated with happiness and positive feelings and fulfillment and contentment. And this is just the tip of the iceberg with some of these studies that are done. If you'd like a really great page, I've got about a 7-page article that I copy and pasted. I've got in my computer. I would be happy to send it to you. We went over it at our staff meeting on this last Monday night, and I just think that some of the things that they're finding with regards to gratitude and not just that it makes you feel good, but there's physical proof and scientific evidence that practicing gratitude consistently has profound impact on our productivity, on our health, on our ability to lose weight, on the amount we exercise, on all kinds of things are affected by this, and it's kind of genuinely amazing. So I'm grateful for you, genuinely grateful on a daily basis. Even some of you that I don't even know, I do genuinely practice gratitude for you, even if I've never met you. Every single Cutco person, I'm grateful that you get to experience the same opportunity that I got to experience when I was new, and I'm just grateful that you get to be a part, or I get to have you as part of an organization that I'm part of as well. And many of you that I know very well, our managers, our top CSPs, our top FSMs, our up and coming sales reps. I try to think of as many of you as possible on a weekly basis, and be genuinely grateful. All right, happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and let's finish the year strong. How's that sound? Okay, good. All right, take care. Be grateful today.